Hi, this is Renu Rison. I'm the author of Politico Nightly, and I'm here with Sabrina Rodríguez, our immigration reporter. And Sabrina is just back from a trip to the border, to the Texas-Mexico border. So today, Sabrina, we're doing 3 minutes. I'm going to set my timer, and the question we're asking is there a crisis on the border right now? We've got 3 minutes. Go.
Here we go. Well, I will say, when we talk about a crisis on the border, I've been often using now air quotes because it's so highly politicized of a word. Some people say a situation, some people say a challenge, some people say a crisis. But the bottom line is that there is a sharp increase in the number of migrants that are arriving at the border. The vast majority are getting sent back almost immediately under a Trump era rule, given the pandemic. And the Biden administration has opted to use that so as to avoid, overcrowding its detention facilities and not really knowing how to navigate it. The problem where we're seeing all the headlines right now is really the unaccompanied children that are arriving. In February, we saw it was about almost 9,500 unaccompanied children that arrived at the border. And Biden, instead of sending them back almost immediately, the way he's doing with adults and many families, is sheltering them. The problem, though, is when they come into the country, they have to go into CBP custody. CBP custody is basically when we think of like the cages or the jail-like cells. That's what CBP custody looks like. Under law, children are not supposed to be there for more than 72 hours. So Biden is running up against capacity constraints, partly because of the pandemic, partly just because of the sheer numbers that are arriving, of moving them out of that CBP custody and into shelters that are, considered. There's some criticism from progressives about these shelters are also no place for children, but they're definitely a step up from CBP custody and offering, health services and education for kids. So right now they're trying to figure out what to do with all these children, how to move them quickly through the process. Over the weekend, they announced that FEMA was going to help in assisting with this process, and they're scouting out different locations to create temporary influx shelters. There's already some places that they've scouted out in California and Texas, and they're trying to move them over as quickly as possible. But the reality is that this is highly politicized. And it's not only a question of, okay, what is Biden doing? It's that we're already hearing from Republicans, what a crisis, and people are coming in and spreading COVID, and who knows who's crossing the border. And then you have Democrats that are naturally, the more moderates are defending Biden, but we see progressives as well being critical of, okay, he said he was going to do all these things on immigration. He's taking too long, not doing enough. So that's really where the challenge is right now, of him navigating the political aspects of this with just the policy that he said he was going to create a fair and humane immigration system. That takes time. He's made steps in undoing what Trump policies were, but, it's going to take time. And there are just very real challenges in the immediate term that we're seeing.
Oh my God, that was 3 minutes, just under the wire. That was fantastic. Immigration is not an easy topic, and so I appreciate you trying to get that in under 3 minutes, and you won. We tell our 3 minutes winners that one day we will have nightly hats to hand out, but for now we just have to get our applause. So thank you.
No, thanks for having me. I'm very shocked I was able to do it in 3 minutes.
That was awesome. Thanks again, Sabrina.